speaking of late round guys, that leads us into a discussion about who our favorite late round steals are, the guys that we're targeting, the final 1, 2, 3 picks for us, the guys you want to stash on your bench. They may not be unbelievable week 1, but you buy into their opportunity, their potential, and it may only take a couple weeks, but you're willing to go after those guys. And so Harrison, who are some of those guys for you?
The first guy for me is Gus Edwards, because when has J.K. Dobbins ever been healthy? I know we're not super high on J.K. Dobbins this year. The whole fantasy community sees a lot of risk in Dobbins, but no one then is drafting Gus Edwards, who would be the next guy up there. The team also cut Melvin Gordon this week, so Edwards is the clear backup, but he is going undrafted in most leagues where, I like Jaylen Warren a lot. I think the talent is there, but we haven't really seen an injury risk from Najee, so there's no reason to expect Najee's going to miss a big chunk of the season. But Jaylen Warren is being drafted like he is going to be the starter at some point during the season, when Gus Edwards is being drafted like the guy in front of him has played 17 games for the last 5 years. And that's just not the case because he's played about 10 games in the last 3 years. So I think Gus Edwards is a huge value because I would be willing to put a lot of money on the fact that Gus Edwards starts at least 3 or 4 games for the Baltimore Ravens this year due to a J.K. Dobbins injury.
I agree. I think that's a good take on him and tremendous value. The 3 running backs that I'm targeting late, one, Tyjae Spears in Tennessee. So he had a great preseason, and I'm out on the Titans, but they still love to run the ball. And Henry's an older running back. The wear and tear. Can we really trust Henry? And so I think at the very least, Spears will have a role as a change of pace guy, as a complement to Henry. And then if Henry did go down, the opportunity and volume there is great for Spears as a rookie. Also, in Tampa Bay, this was a last-minute information dump that I got. It's on Sean Tucker. Okay, he's a backup running back in Tampa Bay. He slipped in the NFL draft because he had a heart condition, medical condition that raised some red flags. And so he fell to Tampa Bay. But he was really good in Syracuse. If you saw any footage from preseason, he's got the burst. He looks great out there. Rachaad White, who I've wanted to like just because of the volume and opportunity in Tampa Bay. And the reality is he just wasn't great last year. And even with, Tom Brady and the Bucs. The Bucs weren't very good last year anyway. So there's talks that Sean Tucker is already kind of that 1B with White. And from what I'm reading and gathering is that once Tucker gets out there and gets some opportunity, he could very well become the running back 1 in Tampa Bay. Does that mean he becomes a running back 1 in fantasy? Not necessarily. But to get him as your last pick and stash him, I love the possibility, love the opportunity there. And then the other guy, Joshua Kelly with the Chargers. This is a gut feeling thing. I love Austin Eckler. Can he really do it again? It's rare that we always see running backs go back to back to back to back unbelievable seasons. There's usually a dip, and it feels like it's Eckler's dip this year. But Joshua Kelly's really good. He looked good in preseason. He's been around the Chargers for a while. I've interviewed him before. I love the guy. He's awesome. So I'm in on Joshua Kelly as another late round steal. What about for you?
I think the last guy that I want to touch on is Romeo Doubs for the Green Bay Packers, because all indications show that he is the number 1 target there in Green Bay. But again, he's going undrafted in some leagues. I don't know how many times we have to hear it and see it to believe that he's the number 1 there. We've heard it in camp as hype reports. Then we saw it in the preseason that he was the guy Jordan Love was targeting most, who, by the way, Jordan Love has looked really good in the preseason. I've been very impressed with what I've seen from him. I think the offense is going to go good. I think Romeo Doubs is someone that you could draft in the last rounds of your draft, and he could start in your flex week 1. I feel pretty confident that he could give you 5 receptions for 60 yards week 1 in this Packers offense, which is an incredible value to be getting when guys are taking shots on people who may not even be on the roster week 1 or might still get cut or traded.
Yeah, the Packers to me are just, it's too fuzzy. I like Romeo Doubs from last year and burst onto the scene. He was fun, but I just don't know what to make of the Packers yet. I got to see. I got to see it to believe it. Before I didn't draft any Packers players yet, other than I guess I'm always in on AJ Dillon. That's just sort of a consistent year in year out. But yeah, Jordan Love's getting a lot of hype. Can he live up to it? We'll see, because there's 3-4 weapons in that offense that are each one has gotten hype at different times. So we'll see who actually rises to the top.